and gentlemen, today I stand before you with a message that resonates deeply within the hearts of every woman who has ever walked through the fires of struggle, who has faced the storms of life and emerged stronger than ever. I speak of women who are not just survivors but warriors, who carry within them the power of grace, resilience, and strength. It is said that there are certain marks that define a person's journey, and for the women I speak of today, these marks are not seen by the eye, but felt in the soul. These are the marks that only those chosen by God carry, hidden in plain sight, yet undeniable to those who know what to look for. These marks are the evidence of a life lived with purpose, a life that has faced adversity and still stands tall. And so I ask you to open your hearts and minds, for today we are about to uncover the 7 hidden marks that make these chosen women stand out in a world that often tries to dim their light. Are you ready? Let us embark on this journey together and discover the extraordinary power within each of you. Resilience is often defined as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. But for the chosen women who possess this remarkable trait, resilience is not just a trait. It is woven into the very fabric of their being. It is a way of life, a way of approaching the storms that life inevitably brings. These women are not defined by the struggles they face, but rather by their ability to rise from those struggles, stronger, more determined, and more unyielding than before. Life has a way of testing us all, but for these women, the tests are not obstacles. They are opportunities for growth. It's important to understand that. Resilience does not mean an absence of pain. Resilience is not the ability to avoid hurt or disappointment. In fact, it is in the deepest moments of pain that resilience is born. These women know that the road ahead may not always be smooth, but they possess an unwavering belief that every trial is an invitation to show the world their strength. They rise not because they are immune to hardship, but because they refuse to be broken by it. Each setback they face, each loss they endure is met with a heart that beats with the determination to move forward. The strength of a resilient woman lies not in her perfection, but in her ability to rise from her imperfections. She knows that failure is not final and mistakes do not define her. The resilience she carries is not about avoiding the pain, but embracing it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to push her forward. She understands that growth often comes with discomfort, but that discomfort is necessary for transformation. Resilience is the quiet courage to keep going, even when the world feels heavy and the weight of the world threatens to crush her spirit. It is the willingness to keep walking, even when the road is unclear, trusting that each step leads her closer to her destiny. Resilience also manifests in the way these women hold on to hope, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Hope is a powerful force, one that can carry a person through the darkest of days. These women are not strangers to darkness. They have faced the kind of pain that threatens to take away their will to continue. Yet, in the midst of those moments, they choose to believe that something better lies ahead. This unwavering hope becomes a beacon them through times when the light seems dim. It is hope that tells them that no matter how long the night, the morning will eventually come. In addition to hope, resilience is deeply tied to the ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and no one knows that better than the women who have learned to bend without breaking. These women understand that in order to overcome, they must be willing to adjust, to change, to evolve. They are not rigid in their thinking or stuck in their ways. Instead, they face life with a flexibility that allows them to navigate its uncertainties with grace. They know that every challenge offers a chance to innovate, to adapt, and to become something even greater than they were before. Another key aspect of resilience in these women is their inner strength. The strength is not always visible to the outside world, but it is there, deep within them. It is a quiet force that comes from knowing who they are, understanding their worth, and being unwavering in their belief in their own abilities. It is this inner strength that allows them to stand tall, even in the face of adversity. When the winds of life blow strong and the pressure mounts, these women remain steadfast. They draw on the power within themselves to keep going, even when they feel like they have nothing. It is this inner strength that allows them to rise, time and time again, with renewed purpose. And finally, the resilience of these women is not a solitary journey. It is rooted in their ability to connect with others, to seek support, and to offer support in return. They know that resilience is not about going it alone. It is about community, about leaning on others when necessary, and offering a hand to those who need it. These women understand that no one can carry their burdens alone forever, and they are not afraid to reach out for help when they need it. At the same time, they are always ready to lift others up, to offer a kind word, a listening ear, or a helping hand. They recognize that resilience is not just an individual quality, but one that grows stronger when shared with others. It is this sense of shared strength that helps them persevere through the hardest times. Unwavering faith is often the foundation of a chosen woman's resilience. It is the belief that despite all odds, there is a greater purpose at work in her life, one that transcends her current circumstances. This faith is not always loud or grand. Often it is quiet, steadfast, and deeply personal. It's a knowing that no matter how difficult the journey, she is not walking it alone. This faith is rooted in trust, in herself, in her abilities, and in the divine forces that guide her steps. It's the inner conviction that though the road may be unclear, every step is a part of her destiny, leading her towards something greater than she could ever imagine. For these women, faith is not a passive belief, but an active force that shapes their every decision. It is the force that propels them forward when the world around them tries to push them back. Faith is the lens through which they view their challenges. It enables them to see beyond the immediate obstacles to the opportunities that lie on the other side. Even in the darkest of times, these women hold on to the belief that things will get better. Their faith does not promise that life will be easy, but it reassures them that no matter how fierce the storm, they will not be broken. Faith is the anchor in the turbulence of life, keeping them grounded when everything else seems uncertain. This faith often manifests in their willingness to take risks and step into the unknown. They do not wait for the perfect moment or the most comfortable circumstances. Instead, they trust in the process, believing that their journey, though fraught with challenges, is part of a larger plan that they are destined to fulfill. This trust does not mean that they never experience doubt or fear. On the contrary, these women know what it means to be scared, to feel uncertain. But their faith enables them to move forward in spite of those fears. knowing that their steps are leading them exactly where they need to be. A woman with unwavering faith also recognizes the importance of patience. She understands that the timing of her life may not align with her desires, and yet she is willing to wait. Patience is not about passivity, it is about trust. It is the belief that everything will come together at the right time, even if it doesn't happen according to her own timeline. This faith gives her the strength to endure delays, setbacks, and periods of waiting without becoming discouraged. She knows that while she is waiting, she is growing, preparing for the blessings that are yet to come. In addition to patience, faith calls for a deep sense of gratitude. A woman with unwavering faith understands that every moment of her life, both the good and the bad, is a gift. She knows that there is something to learn from every experience, and she chooses to embrace life with a heart of gratitude. When things go wrong, she does not focus on the loss or the disappointment. Instead, she looks for the lesson, the blessing hidden within the struggle. Her faith allows her to see the silver lining in the midst of adversity, and her gratitude fuels her journey, reminding her that there is always something to be thankful for, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. For these women, faith is also about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just about letting go of others' wrongdoings. It is about releasing the weight of past hurts, freeing themselves from the burden of resentment and anger. They know that carrying these heavy emotions only holds them back from stepping into their full potential. With faith, they understand that forgiveness is a form of self-liberation, an act of love not just toward others, but toward themselves as well. It is an acknowledgement that the past does not define them, and by letting go, they make room for the new blessings that faith will bring. Furthermore, faith is not just a private matter. It influences the way these women interact with the world. They live out their faith through their actions, through the love they give to others, through the compassion they show, and through the courage with which they face each new day. Their faith shines through in the way they carry themselves, in the way they speak, in the way they lift others up, and in the way they navigate life's challenges with grace. Their faith empowers them to not only transform their own lives, but also the lives of those around them. In their moments of doubt, these women turn to their faith for strength. They may not have all the answers, but their faith provides them with the courage to keep going, even when the path is unclear. They understand that faith is not about having certainty in every step, but trusting that in time, the path will become clear. This trust is what fuels their perseverance, propelling them forward even when they cannot see the way. Through faith, they find the courage to keep moving, to keep striving, and to keep believing that with every challenge they face, they are becoming more of who they were always meant to be. The ability to lead with compassion and strength is one of the most profound marks of a chosen woman. Leadership, when truly understood, is not about asserting power over others. It is about empowering others to reach their full potential, to rise and to walk with dignity. A woman who leads with compassion has the capacity to understand the struggles of those around her, to empathize with their pain, and to offer not just solutions, but a safe space for healing and growth. Her strength is not in dominating others, but in lifting them up. in offering a hand to help them climb the mountain she, too, once struggled to ascend. Compassionate leadership is rooted in deep empathy. It is the ability to connect with others on a human level, to see beyond their circumstances, and to recognize their inherent worth. These women understand that true leadership begins not with authority, but with the ability to listen, to understand, and to support. They do not lead from a place of superiority, but from a place of humility, knowing that they too are learners in the grand tapestry of life. Their strength lies in their capacity to care, to invest in others, and to offer guidance and encouragement. Even in times of uncertainty, a leader with compassion does not shy away from the challenges others. In fact, they are often drawn to those who need the most help, the most care, and the most understanding. These women have a unique ability to sense when someone is struggling, and they approach that person with a heart full of kindness and a desire to help. They do not judge, nor do they criticize. Instead, they offer understanding and unconditional support. This creates an environment of trust where others feel safe to be vulnerable and to seek the help they need to overcome their struggles. This compassionate leadership is not limited to just their personal relationships. In their communities, workplaces, and even in the larger world, these women lead with a heart for justice, equity, and kindness. They recognize that leadership is not about personal gain or recognition. It is about the collective well-being of those around them. They are always looking for ways to empower others, to elevate the voices that are often unheard, and to bring light to places that are shrouded in darkness. Their leadership is driven by a desire to make the world a better place, not for their own benefit, but for the benefit of everyone. But strength is also an essential part of their leadership. Compassionate leadership without strength would be passive, ineffective, and easily undermined. These women understand that in order to truly make an impact, they must be resilient in the face of opposition, unwavering in their values, and bold in their decisions. Strength in leadership is not about being forceful or domineering. It is about standing firm in the face of adversity and making tough decisions when necessary. These women know that leadership requires sacrifice, that they may have to make difficult choices that others may not understand, but they do so with conviction, knowing that the ultimate goal is to create a better, more just world for those they lead. The strength that these women embody is also reflected in their ability to remain calm and composed in the face of challenges. Where others may crumble under pressure, these women stand tall. They do not let the storms of life shake their core. And they do not let fear or uncertainty dictate their actions. Instead, they lead with clarity, with purpose, and with the confidence that comes from knowing they are guided by something greater than themselves. This inner strength allows them to remain steady when those around them are in turmoil, providing a sense of stability and reassurance to others. Their calmness in crisis becomes a source of strength for those who look to them for guidance. But strength also requires vulnerability. A truly compassionate leader understands that strength is not about being invulnerable. It is about being able to admit when they do not have all the answers, when they need help, or when they are struggling. These women are not afraid to show their humanity. They are not perfect, and they do not pretend to be. Instead, they embrace their flaws, their mistakes, and their imperfections. In doing so, they create an environment where others feel empowered to be authentic and real, knowing that they will not be judged for their shortcomings. Their strength comes from their authenticity, from the courage to be vulnerable, and from their willingness to lead with a heart full of compassion. Leadership then becomes a balance between strength and compassion. And these women do not view these qualities as opposing forces, but as complementary ones. Compassion without strength would be ineffective, and strength without compassion would be harsh. Together, they create a leadership style that is both powerful and nurturing, firm and gentle. These women lead not by commanding others, but by inspiring them to be the best versions of themselves. They understand that true leadership is about service to others, to their community, and to the world at large. Their leadership is also rooted in integrity. They do not lead for personal gain, but out of a deep sense of responsibility to those they serve. They lead with honesty, transparency, and fairness, always striving to do what is right, even when it is difficult. This integrity builds trust, and trust is the foundation of any successful leadership. The women who lead with compassion and strength understand that their actions speak louder than their words, and they hold themselves to the highest standards of conduct, knowing that those they lead will follow their example. Embracing vulnerability as a source of power is one of the most transformative qualities a woman can possess. In a world that often encourages women to hide their true emotions, to put on a mask of perfection, and to never show weakness, there is immense strength in embracing vulnerability. To be vulnerable is to be open, to allow oneself to feel deeply, and to acknowledge the full spectrum of human emotion: joy, sorrow, fear, love, and everything in between. While many perceive vulnerability as a weakness, those chosen women who have learned to embrace it understand that it is actually a powerful force that can lead to growth, connection, and transformation. Vulnerability is not about being passive or helpless. Rather, it is a conscious choice to be real, to be authentic in every moment. These women know that to live a life of truth, they must first confront their own fears and insecurity. They understand that it takes immense courage to show up as their true selves, without the facade that society often demands. They no longer feel the need to hide their imperfections, because they recognize that their flaws do not diminish their worth. They only make them more human. They learn to celebrate their imperfections, knowing that it is in those raw, authentic moments that they find their deepest strength. By embracing vulnerability, these women invite others to. They create spaces where people can feel safe enough to open up, to share their stories, and to connect on a deeper level. When they allow themselves to be vulnerable, they break down walls. and foster genuine connections. They understand that relationships built on authenticity are far more meaningful than those based on pretense. Together, allowing others to see themselves in the woman who is brave enough to show her true nature. In doing so, these women inspire others to embrace their own vulnerability, encouraging them to step into their power and embrace their full selves without shame or fear. Furthermore, vulnerability allows these women to experience profound emotional growth. They are not afraid to confront their emotions head-on, to sit with their feelings and to process them fully. Whether they are grieving the loss of a loved one, navigating the complexities of a difficult relationship, or working through the challenges of personal setbacks, they face each emotional experience with courage. Instead of suppressing their emotions or pretending they don't matter, they allow themselves to feel deeply and move through those feelings. This emotional intelligence gives them a unique ability to navigate the highs and lows of life with grace and wisdom. By allowing themselves to be vulnerable, they gain insight into their own hearts, learning more about who they are, what they need, and what they are capable of. In addition to emotional growth, embracing vulnerability fosters a sense of empowerment. When women allow themselves to be open and authentic, they take ownership of their own story. They stop hiding behind the narratives that others have imposed on them and begin to write their own stories with full agency. Vulnerability is the key that unlocks their true power because it enables them to take ownership of both their light and their shadow. They understand that they are not defined by their past, their mistakes, the expectations others may have of them. Instead, they choose to define themselves by their own terms. Embracing both their strengths and weaknesses is part of the unique tapestry that makes them who they are. It is in this act of self-acceptance that they find their most authentic strength. Embracing vulnerability also means allowing oneself to be open to others. It is easy to retreat into oneself when facing difficulties, but those who embrace vulnerability recognize the power of human connection. They know that asking for help, leaning on others for support, and being open to receiving love is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It takes great courage to trust others with your heart, to allow them to see your true self, and to accept the love and care they offer. These women have learned that in order to receive the full blessings of life, they must also be willing to receive support and care from those who are willing to stand beside them. Another profound aspect of embracing vulnerability is the courage to take risks. Women who embrace vulnerability understand that in order to experience growth, they must be willing to step into the unknown. Whether it is starting a new venture, pursuing a dream that feels impossible, or stepping into a new phase of life, they know that they must take risks to experience. Vulnerability enables them to let go of their fear of failure, knowing that even in failure there is growth. By stepping into the unknown, they embrace the possibility of success and the lessons that come with failure. It is this willingness to take risks, to face the unknown with open arms, that allows them to achieve things they never thought possible. Furthermore, Vulnerability is a key element in healing. Every person carries wounds from the past, whether from childhood relationships or the weight of societal expectations. Women who embrace vulnerability allow themselves to heal from these wounds by acknowledging the pain, understanding it, and giving themselves permission to let go of the past. They understand that healing is not a linear process, but a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and the courage to face what has been buried deep within. They know that by confronting their wounds with vulnerability, they allow themselves the opportunity to heal and grow into the best version of themselves. Finally, embracing vulnerability creates a life of freedom. When a woman allows herself to be vulnerable, she is no longer bound by the need to please others or live up to external expectations. She is free to live life on her own terms, to follow her own path, and to pursue her passions without fear of judgment. Vulnerability liberates her from the prison of perfectionism, enabling her to live authentically, freely, and joyfully. It is this freedom that allows her to experience life to its fullest, to embrace every opportunity that comes her way, and to fully step into her purpose. By embracing vulnerability, she transforms it into a source of power that propels her toward her greatest potential.
Fearless pursuit of their dreams and passions is one of the defining characteristics of chosen women. In a world filled with obstacles, distractions, and challenges, these women do not shy away from their goals. They chase them with unwavering determination and relentless courage. They know that their dreams are not simply wishful thinking, but vital parts of who they are and what they are meant to accomplish. For them, pursuing their passions is not a luxury, but a necessity, a driving force that propels them forward, even when the path is difficult and the future uncertain. These women possess an inner fire that burns bright, a deep sense of purpose that cannot be extinguished by fear or doubt. They know that the pursuit of their dreams requires sacrifice, commitment, and perseverance. It is not always an easy road, but they are willing to walk it because they understand that the fulfillment of their passions is worth every hurdle they must overcome. This fearless pursuit is rooted in a strong sense of self-belief, a conviction that they are worthy of success, happiness, and the life they envision for themselves. They do not wait for permission to go after what they want. They take action, often in the face of uncertainty, knowing that their efforts will ultimately pay off. Fear, while a natural part of the human experience, does not paralyze these women. Instead, they use it as fuel to move forward. Where others may hesitate or shrink back, they face their fears head-on, knowing that every challenge they encounter is an opportunity for growth. They understand that fear is not something to be avoided or ignored, but something to be confronted and overcome. By embracing fear, they develop the courage to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to pursue their dreams with a sense of urgency. Fear to them is a signal that they are pushing the boundaries of their comfort zones, and they welcome it as a sign that they are on the right path. In their pursuit of passion, these women understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a stepping stone to success. They view failure not as an endpoint, but as a lesson, an opportunity to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. They know that every setback is temporary, and that every mistake is part of the process of becoming the best version of themselves. This mindset allows them to keep moving forward even when things don't go according to plan. They are not discouraged by obstacles. Instead, they see them as challenges to be overcome, knowing that their perseverance will ultimately lead them to success. Moreover, these women are not afraid to dream big. Their vision for their lives is expansive, and they are not limited by the constraints of society's expectations or the doubts of others. They think beyond the ordinary and strive for greatness, believing that their dreams are valid and achievable. They recognize that their potential is limitless, and they are committed to reaching for the stars no matter how far away they may seem. This boldness, this willingness to dream without limits, is one of the key elements that sets them apart. They are not content to settle for mediocrity or to follow the path that others have laid out for them. Instead, they blaze their own trail, carving out a life that reflects their deepest desires and passions. In addition to their bold dreams, these women have an unwavering commitment to their goals. Qui disait quoi? They are not easily swayed by distractions or temporary setbacks. They understand the value of persistence and focus, and they work tirelessly toward their objectives. When others might give up, they dig in deeper, finding new ways to approach their challenges and pushing forward with even more determination. They know that success is not an overnight occurrence, but the result of consistent effort and dedication. The pursuit of their dreams becomes a way of life, not just a short-term goal, and they dedicate themselves fully to the journey. They also understand the importance of aligning their actions with their values. For these women, pursuing their passions is not just about achieving success or gaining recognition. It is about living a life that is authentic and true to who they are. They make choices that align with their inner purpose and work tirelessly to ensure that their actions reflect their deepest beliefs. This authenticity is what gives their pursuit of passion its power, because it is grounded in integrity and a genuine desire to make a difference in the world. Their dreams are not selfish. They are driven by a desire to contribute, to help others, and to leave a lasting impact on the world. Another key aspect of their fearless pursuit is their ability to adapt and innovate. The path to their dreams is rarely linear, and they understand that flexibility is essential for success. They are not rigid in their thinking, but are open to new ideas, new ways of doing things, and new opportunities. They understand that life is unpredictable, and they are willing to pivot when necessary, adjusting their approach without losing sight of their ultimate goal. This adaptability allows them to stay relevant and keep moving forward, even when the landscape changes or unforeseen challenges arise. Along the way, these women also inspire others to pursue their own passions. They lead by example, showing those around them that it is possible to chase your dreams no matter the obstacles. Their courage, determination, and success become a source of inspiration for others to take the leap and go after what they truly want in life. They understand that their journey is not just about their own fulfillment, but about showing others what is possible when you have the courage to pursue your dreams. In the pursuit of their passions, these women also understand the importance of balance. While they are committed to their goals, they know that their well-being is equally important. They take time to nurture themselves, to recharge, and to ensure that they are able to give their best to the world. This balance enables them to sustain their energy and focus over the long haul, ensuring that their pursuit of their dreams is both fulfilling and sustainable. It is through this balance that they are able to maintain the energy and drive needed to continue on their journey toward success. Resilience in the face of adversity is one of the most powerful qualities that a chosen woman embodies. Life, as we know, is not always fair or easy. It presents challenges, hardships, and obstacles that can seem insurmountable. Yet it is in these very moments of struggle that these women rise above their circumstances, demonstrating an incredible capacity for endurance, strength, and perseverance. Resilience is not simply about surviving difficult situations, but about emerging from them stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. For these women, adversity is not an excuse to give up. It is a reason to fight harder. They understand that life's challenges are an inevitable part of their journey, but they refuse to let those challenges define them. When faced with difficult times, they don't crumble. They might feel the weight of the world on their shoulders, but they continue to move forward step by step through sheer willpower. Resilience means that no matter how hard life knocks them down, they always get back up. They learn to face each setback with courage, knowing that it is just another step toward their personal growth and future success. Resilience also means embracing the lessons that come with adversity. These women don't simply try to get through difficult times. They seek to understand what they can learn from those experiences. Every challenge they encounter becomes an opportunity for personal growth and a deeper understanding of themselves. They know that hardship often teaches lessons that ease cannot provide, and that through overcoming obstacles, they gain wisdom that can only come from the struggle itself. Whether it is a career setback, a personal loss, or a relationship that did not turn out as expected, they take these experiences and use them to build a stronger foundation for their future. This resilience is deeply rooted in their mindset. These women view setbacks and adversity not as signs of failure, but as temporary roadblocks that they have the power to overcome. They understand that difficulties don't define their worth or potential. Instead of becoming defeated by obstacles, they adopt a growth mindset, seeing every challenge as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. It is this mindset that allows them to remain optimistic even in the face of hardship. They believe that even the darkest moments will eventually pass, and that with each challenge they face, they are building the mental and emotional strength necessary to thrive. Another key aspect of their resilience is the ability to remain focused on their goals. Even in the midst of adversity, these women keep their eyes on the prize. They understand that life is filled with distractions, difficulties, and detours. But their commitment to their vision remains unwavering. Their resilience is tied to their deep sense of purpose, and they are determined to stay on course no matter how many obstacles they encounter. They know that achieving their goals is not always easy, but they also know that nothing worth having comes without hard work, persistence, and the willingness to keep going no matter what. These women also understand the importance of self-care in maintaining their resilience. They know that in order to face adversity with strength, they must first take care of their own physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This means making time to recharge, to heal, and to nurture their own spirits. Resilience does not mean endlessly pushing through without rest. Rather, it is about finding the balance between perseverance and self-compassion. By acknowledging their own needs and taking care of themselves, these women are able to replenish their energy, refocus, and keep moving forward with renewed strength. Moreover, resilience requires an unwavering belief in one's own worth and capabilities. These women have a deep sense of self-worth that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others or the challenges they face. They believe in their own abilities to overcome whatever comes their way. When faced with obstacles, they trust that they are equipped with the strength, wisdom, and courage to handle the situation. Their belief in themselves serves as a constant source of motivation, propelling them forward even when things seem impossible. This self-belief is the foundation of their resilience because it empowers them to act in the face of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Resilience is also about finding the strength to ask for help when needed. These women are not afraid to lean on their support systems when times get tough. They understand that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to their strength. They know that they do not have to face everything alone, and that seeking help is part of the process of overcoming adversity. Whether it's turning to friends, family, or mentors, they recognize the value of support and community in building resilience. They understand that it is okay to be vulnerable, to admit when they need help, and to accept that sometimes the path forward requires the strength and support of others. At the core of their resilience is an unshakable belief in hope. These women understand that no matter how difficult the present moment may seem, there is always the possibility of a better future. They hold on to hope even when things are at their darkest, trusting that better days are ahead. Their resilience is fueled by this hope, and it is this belief in a brighter future that keeps them going through the hardest times. When everything around them seems bleak, they continue to push forward, knowing that hope will eventually lead them to a place of peace, success, and fulfillment. In their lives, resilience is not just a passive trait, it is an active practice. These women actively choose resilience every day by deciding to face challenges head-on, to learn from their experiences, and to keep moving forward. They do not give up, back down from adversity. They embrace each challenge with a sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to overcoming whatever comes their way. Their resilience is a reflection of their strength, their belief in themselves, and their unwavering commitment to their dreams and goals.